Greetings. This is Black Dragon, and we have Game 2 of our Best of 7 series between our two German players. Starting off in the upper right spawn, we do have our Protoss player, Warcraft 3 veteran. It is Hasuobs, decisively taking a Game 1 with a beautifully microed 9-minute push with Sentries, Stalker, War Prism. Over here on the left, we do have the other Warcraft 3 veteran, well known, loved by all, Team Liquid's TLO. Alright, and we did have TLO fall to that very strangely timed push. It was about 4 sentries, 6 stalkers warped in right thereafter. And because TLO elected to rush the Spire, didn't really have an answer for it. Did have the Mutalisk actually out, had about 8 of them and Zerglings, but it still got held very easily. We'll have to see how we adjust. Last game we did see Nexus first out of our Protoss player, and we did have Hatch first from TLO. Don't know if they're going to be as greedy this time. We'll have to see. Oh, and Hasu knows. He's checking for it. Sign of a good player. When he sends the scout, it arrives just as that 15 hatch would. He knows the timings. And just when he wanted to throw down that 15 hatch, it wasn't there. Couldn't happen. Had to adjust to the more safe 14 pool. Harassment going on. Always good to deny that expansion as long as possible. And interesting build. We do have a 1 gate opener. No wall off at the ramp. Not even worried about any type of cheese or anything. Just gonna go ahead and drop a Nexus. After the 1 gate. What a very strange timing out of Hasu. Usually you see a Forge, some type of defensive building, or an outright Nexus first. This was Gateway first. Not warping in any units and then going right into the Nexus. This has to be based off of what he scouted. Seeing the very standard safe opening out of TLO, he knows that first round of production can't really go to Zerglings. The max it'll have is 2, which could be taken care of very easily. He will see the quick Nexus. We'll probably assume it's a Nexus first, but didn't actually get the scout off in the back of the base where it mattered because Hasu has been oh so brilliant with his building placements, and if you look, he puts him in places that Overlord's not going to want to go because it takes so much time. He wants to get a full scout and get in position to scout that 8-minute timing that he missed last time, that if he would have saw, he would have known something was up. This time, in good position, does miss the gateway. Might assume it's a Nexus first when it could have some early pressure. Do have fast 3 bases out though. Gas taken very early. Typically around 40 supply, 42 supply. The Zerg normally just take 2 gases, transition from there. This is a very interesting, very interesting choice. The question is, what exactly is he going to do with the gas that he's banking? Because at some point, he's going to have to transition to 2 gases anyway, and you would just think it'd be more beneficial to get those extra 3, 4, 5 drones in, plus some mining time on the minerals, because he has to get 3 bases queened, up and running, and get all that infrastructure down so he can start producing units. But pros know what they're doing. TLO running right by the Zelnaga tower and will miss the lone Zealot. Zealot, tomato, doesn't matter. Probably run into this one though, and is going to see the Zealot Stalker. Opting to back off. Doesn't see this one. We'll need to see it pretty soon. Possibly if he gets a Mothership Core in there, and there it is. 2 Zealots, 1 Stalker, and a Mothership Core can actually do quite a bit of harassment and give him some problems right now. He does have the earlier gas, which gave him some quick speed, but now he's banking 200 gas that I'm not really sure where he's going to spend it right away. Yeah, really, doesn't have any gas units out yet. Doesn't have Roach Warren down. We are at the 640 mark. This is pretty much the time, this is leaning towards the latter end of when you'd want to actually put down that Roach Warren. Didn't see a Forge either. Forge not even finished yet, so has no defense. He's putting all his minerals into something. TLO has to know it's some type of aggression has to be coming in at the 7-minute mark. The new 4-gate has been replaced by this 3-4 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Mothership Core, still doing a decent amount of damage, having to warp in. 14 Lings, a little bit of an overreaction here. Is he going to lose the Queen as well? That would be huge. He does lose the Queen. Zealot still doing tons of damage. That Mothership Core, oh so valuable, just dealing damage to all the units free, especially with that Queen dead. Most importantly, forced huge larva waste by TLO. Has to warp in all these Zerglings to try to get some type of defense. And hugging the wall going to make this as cost efficient as possible. Have to remember, no one's damaging this Mothership Core, so it's taking free shots, getting tons of kills, up to 5 already, and we're only 8 minutes into the game. So yeah, no gas, he had to have known. 8 minutes, 8:30 now, no gas. Some early pressure was coming, wasn't really ready for it. Lost a Queen. Lost potential drones because he had to warp in all of those Zerglings. Now morphing in Banelings. Moving towards some type of Ling Infester. Also getting... oh no. More damage going out. This turret might possibly fall. Banelings come in, they're slow. Baneling zone doesn't have really a lot of units to splash damage on and gets a decent connect off. A few Zealots falling. Doesn't matter though. Mothership Core now still doing tons of damage, up to 8-9 kills. Barely held, going to the income tab. We do have a still slight lead by the Zerg. Don't know if we have, and more damage going out. Mothership Core so tough for Zerg players to deal with in the early game. I'm impressed that he held this with no roaches though. He's got a lot of supply cap, and even though, he's 10 supply up, I feel like it's a stronger army because he doesn't have the 2 supply roaches just kind of thrown in there. Like this army's just enough to keep him from dying. Any less and he would have lost the game already. Alright, going over here, we do have the third blocked pretty well. So we'll know timing. And going into the Swarm Host as well and opting to go for the upgrade on that as well. Locusts are going to take a lot of damage, so if he does opt to transition into Colossus, he's going to have a really good position. If those Swarm Hosts reach critical mass, it's very, very, very effective versus Protoss. Looking at upgrades, we do have +1 for the toss, but that's about it. All gas being used towards those Swarm Hosts, trying to get some air defense now. We do have the transition to the 1 Stargate. It's actually going to do a lot of damage because we don't have a lot of anti-air out right now. And Hasu opting to transition into the Colossus build. Very effective. I almost love showing that 1 Void Ray because what it's going to make... because right now, TLO's pretty much blind. He doesn't know really what kind of tech's going on. So he sees the Void Ray, he might think it's some type of Sky Toss transition, which is why. And we just lost another structure here. Why he's going to transition to these Hydralisk. Unfortunately, with the transition into the robotics facility, the Hydralisk isn't going to really be able to do too much. It's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Hydralisk just not very effective after the mid-game. Once you can get 2-3+ Colossus, those Hydralisk are just too soft and have to path around everything to do damage. Really hard to get them in a good position. Few small engagement going on in the middle, just having some, no, can't do anything, still no anti-air units on the map at all whatsoever. These Zerglings just being thrown away at this point. Not sure if that's the best use of them. And we do have a Nidus Worm coming out as well. Not sure what he's going to do with this. I haven't seen a Nidus Worm in about 2 months. Have to imagine this is for the Swarm Hosts that are very slow. And we do have some Swarm House out on the map. 11 now, really good amount to start with. If you can use this to contain the third, it'd be huge. And bring some drones as well. They're going to see some Spore Crawlers possibly. Get some much needed anti-air. Dancing going on back and forth. We do have the third base, about 50% completed. One Colossus out on the map. We do have Sentry, Immortal, Zealot, Stalker army, very gas heavy. What does this mean? It's very defensive, it's very positional, it's very cost efficient. Not offensive, but defensive. These heavy gas units are oh so good in making this a Protoss secure. Third, look at these liftoffs taking off all the Banelings. Nice target firing. Does lose a few of those, actually 3 of those Phoenix. Pretty big loss going to units lost tab. Slight lead by Hasu. Look at those improved Locusts just doing so much damage to the Zealot ball. Thinning that army out for free. These units are all free. They take no damage. And the awesome part about this is that if they're in a good position, it's just whittling down that very expensive Protoss army. No damage at all. Here comes the counterflank. Beautiful maneuver, but they are in a very good position. We do have more Swarm hosts coming in through the Nidus network as well. Nice force fields going down, trapping the Locust, making the Swarm host pretty much worthless. Here come the Spore Crawlers, try to root, doesn't matter. There's a Void Ray taking out the high priority targets. If they drop low critical mass, it's going to be very tough for the Zerg player to pull out ahead. We do have the Queens there to do extra damage. There are some transfuses as well, hopefully. We do have some low HP, 5 more Swarm hosts in the build. And the nice thing about these Locusts as well, they follow like that, they keep a good position of the army. Vision's never a bad thing to have. Here we go. Look at all those Locusts. They're going to take out that Forge. Wow, for free. This is so devastating for a Protoss. They have to take advantage of these really expensive units, and they have to be able to do damage. And right now, kind of getting pushed around. Not really giving any damage back if we tab over to units lost. Slowly but surely, TLO is pulling ahead. Doesn't have a 4th base, but we do have a 4th coming out of Hasu. So I have to feel, even though the pressure's on the front, he is doing quite well. Especially if you can go up to the 6 gas economy, it's just gonna really pull ahead. Let's have a 10 drone lead as well. Counterflank coming around, trying to secure a good position. Is possibly giving up. These 2 gateways, not good, losing infrastructure at this point in the game. Is going to try to tour around if the flank though says, hey, I don't care, I'm going to kill your army for this. Can't get in good position. Look at all those Locusts just doing tons of damage. It would be better if they're upgraded a little bit more, but it doesn't matter, there's so many of them. It's almost an imaginary wall the Protoss has to go through before he can start doing true damage. Do they have vision of this? He needs to be able to see this. No, he didn't see it at all. Just out of vision, doesn't see the 4th base that's pretty much up and running. Not good. Can we get some nice abducts off? There goes a nice fungal as well. Just get one of the Colossus. No, just let him get away. Doesn't have enough burst. Another abduct going down, finally dropping one of them. The siege is on from the Zerg. The Heart of the Swarm Zerg siege tank being very effective. There goes a time warp to slow this Locust down a little bit. We do have some inducts coming in. Does pull it up on a very awkward spot. He has to walk all the way around. What nice positioning by these Vipers. But does lose one in the mix. Not a bad trade for a Colossus. Those are very expensive. Are we going to see a runaround? Yes, we'll find the hidden expansion. There are 4 Zealots there. Is he going to react to this at all? Does finally move. Multiple front attack coming in. This has to be difficult for the Protoss to damage. So many angles to cover right now. This is a very large map. Look at this. Counterattack coming in, taking out quite a bit. Here comes some more Locusts in to do some damage. Take out some pylons. Just be overall pest, be really annoying. And with the pylon, his supply block can't remax out. Very low on resources right now. This Zerg army just in perfect position. Counterattack coming around. Can't really do too much. Actually does lose one of the Phoenixes. Up, counter-harassed by some Zealots, doing some nice damage. Going to possibly take out one of these. Nope, there is a Swarm host here. Hanging out? No. Yep, this one here. What perfect defense it provides, too. Does a lot of damage. Here comes the swing around. Doesn't matter, though. Does lose. He is 4th base. Back in the mix is TLO. Still on 3 bases. Not the best thing, but does have a very, very nice mineral lead due to the saturation. Alright, huge action engagements going on in the middle. Nice blinding cloud going on, making those stalkers pretty much useless. Have to go in melee range to actually damage the Locust. Not a good trade at all. Down here in the bottom, Locust swinging around again. Look at this imaginary unit just having all this mobility. All the way from here just because of creep. They're able to travel so far. Look at them just camping out here. They have so much life. Can we get some more abducts? Yes, Blink countering that abduct completely though. Can he pull off another one? We do have some blinding cloud going down. Trying to land on some of this Colossus. Doesn't matter though. We do have them pushing back out very hard and strong. That's what she said. Doesn't matter. Void Rays just going to work. Stutter Step Colossus rendering these Locusts now pretty worthless, but it doesn't matter. We have a nice little counterattack coming around by some more Locusts. Able to take out some probes. Maybe a photon cannon, but it doesn't matter. This army's getting really big in the middle. Supply about even. TLO finally getting to fourth base. More for macro than anything else. He's still behind on supplies by quite a bit. Nice liftoffs going down. Tons of damage. All the swarm hosts are falling. Not a good look for TLO. He needed to keep those units alive. That critical mass falling very behind now, down about 25 supply. As we're transitioning to the 22-minute mark. And the ever-annoying counterattack still going on here, but the Locust slow but steady damage. He's going to have to really keep track. Did see the Dark Shrine. Has to think he has some type of detection somewhere. If not, this Dark Templar could just go to town. Back to income, down to 50 drones. Not a good number to have going to the late game for TLO. Doesn't have that much money banked. He's very low on resources. 6 more Vipers in production. Shows you how important these are. Losing more Queens. We do have an observer out. Oh, but there is an observer there. He's going to be able to 2-shot, almost 3-shot. This Dark Templar. So much damage. Still no upgrades. And going to those upgrades, we do have shield level 1 and attack level 1, but only range level 1 for TLO. His lack of bases is starting to show now. We do have a 4th Nexus started up once again. Going to try to reestablish that economy, get some more gas. Nice little swing around counterattack by some Zealots, checking for a base. It's not there. There goes that Dark Templar. Doesn't want to lose that unit. Pretty expensive. In come the Blinking Stalkers to take out these nice observers. Doesn't matter. Blinding Cloud going down. Locust, can they get a kill? Yeah, they get 1 kill. Maybe 2, no, but still 1 kill for free. Never a bad thing. Colossus have to be careful. For that reason, that fungal abduct snipe. There it is. 1, 2, 3 punch. Queens come in to push back some of these Void Rays, but there it is again. Fungal abduct snipe. Can we get another one? No, huge counter push coming out. 5 Colossus in the mix, more Stalkers coming in. But here comes a huge wave of Locusts to push them back. They actually are pushing them very back. Look at the Fungals. Time Warp slowing down that counter push. It is so hard for Hasu to break this contain right now. Very unorthodox 4th base up and running. Don't think Hasu even has any idea this is even here. No. Could assume, but that's about it. Alright, nice last second burrow, but here comes the observer, takes out the swarm host. Trying to reestablish that map control. That's what it's about. Alright, let's see if we can get that nice little combo going again. Fungal abduct grab. Now Corruptor's in there too. Gonna help out a lot. Does let the Colossus walk away. Very little, 33 hit points. And here come the in and out. Nice combo. Fourth base nearing completion. Almost mirror spots on the map. No gas yet from this hidden expansion though, so it's not really paying him dividends at the moment. While the minerals are nice, he does need some more gas to be able to keep up this contain. Alright. Some spine crawlers down as well. Just lose another Dark Templar in the mix. A lot of gas just being thrown away. Nice blink coming in. There's the fungal. Doesn't matter. Another fungal missed. Spine crawler going down. Units poking back and forth. In comes the blink. Out he goes. And there goes the stalker. It just blows my mind how efficient these are if used properly. Anytime a toss can just use lose these units for free, and here we go. He's running by the hidden expansion. Doesn't even see it. Wow. You gotta think something's gotta run by eventually. Okay, he has vision of it now. But at the same time, huge counter swing. If he takes out the Nidus network, it's gonna be pretty big. It's expensive, really hard to replace, especially at this point in the game. He's gonna jump in. He's able to snipe it. Okay, has to think a counter push is coming. Just leave this here for detection. Doesn't matter though, has 2 queens coming in. Think this 3 set can clean it up pretty easily. Even with the 2 queens, not doing enough damage. And look at that, almost 3 shots, and there goes 1 queen down. Missed the transfuse as well, but there's a lot going on over here. You can't focus on that. Abduct, fungal, grab, fungal. There goes a blink. Take out some of those high-priced units. Take out the infestors, but doesn't matter. Blinding cloud makes these stalkers halfway useless, and there goes a wave of locusts to absorb a lot of the damage. Corruptors pushing back the air and Colossus. About as close an engagement as you'll see. They're just fighting for inches right now. Barely able to focus on the micro over here, yet a full energy queen just die with one right next to it. Oh, and into this Dark Templar. He's just doing tons of damage. Not a very good look. Losing some expensive units, is able to take out, I think, 3 Swarm Hosts. Alright, bases all over the map, cascaded everywhere. Gotta think this one's gonna fall eventually. Too bad he's not mining the gases, which he needs so bad right now. Swarm Host play has been very interesting though. Now having to go very defensive with it. We'll see how well he can move this army around. It's now very immobile. Is transitioning into this Corruptor Infestor. Have to think he's going towards some type of Broodlords eventually. And there's a Greater Spire in construction. Moving towards Lings as well. Which not too sure how it's going to work against his army composition. He does need some type of mineral dump though. Although there's not many minerals to spend, is down about 40 supply. Not looking really good right now for TLO. And Locust doing tons of damage for free. Oh my god, they're gonna snipe the Nexus, and there it goes. Oh my god. 8 Swarm Hosts, no upgrades, just sniped a Nexus with all of these photon cannons. Yes, they all weren't in range, but still. What damage those do. Link's checking for an expansion that's not there. But here comes the main army to do some damage. Fungal able to catch 1 Stalker, and any unit lost for free is a good trade for the Zerg. In come the Lings, try to do something, but just pretty much melt. I don't even think they got a hit off. Lings are not very good in the late game versus this many Colossus. Just getting one-shotted pretty much. So many changelings. I saw a lot of the Korean pros do this. A lot of the Brood War Korean pros do this whenever they started transitioning to StarCraft 2. They started doing a lot of weird stuff, and you saw this a lot. And if they had time in their micro, you could do this, spread it all over the map, and you have a very quick and annoying scout that's not going to be easily picked off because he has to take the time to actually target fire each one of these. And you can, fit it in your hotkeys. You can get, rounds of like 8 or 9 of these pretty quickly, and it's just really annoying for the opposing player to deal with because they're not going to be automatically targeted by anything besides detection. Derp, derp, derp. All right, moving towards the late game. Had to know Daybreak is going to produce very long, drawn-out matches. And what's tough about the Sormos composition is it seems that while it's able to put on a lot of pressure, it has to be in perfect position. I feel like a lot of games will be attempted and lost with this composition for the mere fact that every time TLO was engaging, it just seemed like he planned about a minute before it happened. And he had everything, Vipers, Infestors, Lings, Corruptors, everything just in like the perfect position so that these Swarm Hosts wouldn't just drop right away. So very mobile army, and once the pressure wasn't as effective as he wanted it to be, he just moved it back. And it seemed almost right at a random time because he was putting out good pressure, but elected to move back when he did take this additional base. And you got to think, if you catch these out of position, you've pretty much you've thrown away the game. They're tied up in so much supply and gas. They need to be in that perfect position. They need time to siege up as well, and then time before they actually produce units. All right, free locust coming in, taking out defenses. I believe we have mass recall up, so any kind of run by is not going to be really effective. Can he get him ducked off? No, because those blinking stalkers are going to do just that, and that's what they need to be used for. Every time they try to move in and get greedy, it's going to be a lost Viper. Really can't have that happening at this point. Any caster that dies with full energy is bad. Here we go with the Broodlords, though. They're going to be able to put out some nice siege damage as well. So you've got siege ground, siege air. This fungal, taking out an observer, I guess better than nothing. It's a lot of wasted energy. 2 fungals to kill 1 observer, not really the best trade. The siege damage will commence, and it's almost unfortunate because it's going to be really difficult for the Protoss to move to another base. Especially if this one falls. It's in a very awkward spot. But here comes a counterattack. Very nice position as well. Going to catch these swarm hosts out of position, but they are able to launch a nice round. See, now if he attacks into this and the spine crawlers, it gives enough time for this army to get back in position. And in come the corruptors, losing quite a few of them to some blinking stalkers. Looking at supply, we do have a nice comfortable lead by Hasu. But we do have a nice sling run by coming in, taking out tons of probes. Doing nice damage, whittling down the static defense. Now these locusts can come in and do pure damage, and we saw how many 9 of them can do. Can almost pretty much one-shot a Nexus in 1 round, and you're almost going to have that happen here. Going to get very close. Ooh. About halfway gone, hull damage, and this is going to have to drop. He's letting it go already. Got to start another base. You know, going to income, we have a supply lead, but we do have the mineral-starved and toss-starved, gas-starved Protoss as well. He's going to have to start an additional base or move in for a very nice attack because we do have another base up and running just doing pure gas for who knows how long. I've already started mining gas. So it's going to be able to replenish those expensive units fairly quickly. And this is such a bizarre thing to see, especially in this matchup. And here we go with the blink in. They're forcing the engagement here. I have to feel like this is almost all in because he's very committed to this attack. Does have a mass recall he can use, but it doesn't matter. There's so many Colossus. Are there too many though? Because these stalkers are locked down. They can't focus the corruptors at all. Oh no, army caught out of position. Got to think a mass recall's got to be coming in because these corruptors are going uncontested almost. But here come the void races as well. Stalker's still alive, doing tons of damage. Able to warp in from the proxy, and there's a good game. Hasu taking game 2. Really good micro coming in, held a lead, had a lead, versus a very unorthodox composition. Broodlord, Infestor, Ling, Swarmhost, Viper, a little bit of everything, and a Nidus network just for good measure. As you saw though, didn't really have that effect he wanted to. It required so much time, energy, and micro. You gotta wonder, is it necessarily the better composition than just going that Roach or Ling Infestor, pure Ling Infestor, being able to have the mobility and then still being able to expand all over the map. I feel like by the Zerg had to stay on, and TLO had to stay on 3 bases for so long because he was working on that contain, and it really didn't do enough damage to the Protoss. Hasu taking a quick game 2. Game 3 starts.